It's GMT time. GMT with Calvin.
All right. 9 o'clock hour. No delay, none whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, the hour that we've been waiting for, the man that we've been waiting for is in the building. I'm about to turn his mic on.
Wagwanin.
How's it, sir?
Sauti yangu imego.
Sauti yako imego, man. Nimecheki umebugi jana.
Umebash kubash.
Hey. I love it.
My G.
Heavy. We had such a great time. Shout out to everybody who came through to the very, very good listening party for the latest project by the man Blinky Bill. Akondania Studio. Now, what we're going to do is this. We're going to hit play for one song.
Okay.
Kuna mse wa bodana ni call, so I need to pick this call.
Aje mse wa boda.
Kuna glasses na leteo bana. Unajua history ya macho nne.
Oh.
This is real radio by the way. Haya, unataka tuanze wapi? Unscripted. Kabisa. Because unajua sasa venye anakuwa impatient. Haya.
Toa pesa bro. Toa makaje.
Hey!
Vile tuna come through ni original.
We got to talk about all of that. I see that you brought your brothers out yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Ndio huyo sasa. Haya, cheza hit play. Ngoma ya kwanza unataka tuanze na gani?
Mtaona ni kipaa.
Ready when you are. So what we're doing today is you can recue it. So what we're doing today is Blinky's in the studio with me. He's the one playing the music off of his laptop. So we're going to start with song number 1, Mtaona ni kipaa.
Actually, this is song number 2. Intro, ama nicheze intro?
Anza na intro. Haya, right on fast with the hit Trace FM, twende.
Wapi intro. Inaitwa Black Keys.
Well. It seems we meet again. Simply the best. From South London to Nairobi West.
That's Mikel Amin. He's a good friend of mine. He's a rapper from London.
I could tell.
And he lived here for a while. Actually, he saw one of Just a Band videos.
Yes.
Back in the day. I was just like, yo, I have to come to Nairobi. And he came to Nairobi. And we just started working on stuff. I think he even wants to move to Kenya.
Yes.
Also, his wife is Kenyan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wife is Kenyan.
And his friends, childhood friends with Fuse ODG, who's also on this project.
Hey! That's where we're starting, man.
That's where we start.
Listen, if you don't know the man behind We Caught Keys 2, Blinky Bill is in the place. Now, the last time you were actually here, let's throw it all the way back.
Yeah.
This is not when you were here with the boys last year, the year before. This is 2022.
Yeah.
Is when you said We Caught Keys 2 is on the way.
Is on the way.
How's the process been, man?
Man, it's been long. Also because I'm an independent artist.
Yes.
And also, there's a certain quality of sound that I really want for my projects. And I had to really take time.
Yes.
And as fate would have it, I ended up, there's a song that I'm gonna play here called Dracula. And I hit up this OG in the States, who he mixed Welcome to Jam Rock and those kinds of tracks. I was like, for this track, please just mix this track for me.
Yes.
Please. And then he heard it and he was just like, yo, this is so cool. Can I listen to what else you're working on? And then he listened to everything else and I was just like, yo, I want to work with you on this.
So halt and now start to factor in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just like, he's called Commissioner Gordon.
Ooh, bro.
Yeah.
I know Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. He's like a 3-4 time Grammy winner. And I was just like, yo, I've worked, I've mixed my own albums and they're good, but also you have to be conscious about the quality, you know? I remember playing at Afropunk in SA in 2019. I was watching Masego and who else? And Goldlink, and they were playing. And it was just like, they don't even need a band. The sound is so big.
So well done.
And Kendrick, I was being told in Rwanda, didn't have a band.
That's why I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. So that's interesting
Yeah.
that you mentioned that. So, and I think I kind of mentioned it when I came back. I was with Fully Focus
Yeah.
after the show.
Yeah.
It was Fully Focus, myself, and Navio.
Yeah.
So I was so blown away at how good the sound was. I thought there was a band. So I remember asking Fully, yo, was there a band?
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
It's just tracks.
Hey.
And now the tracks, when zikishibishwa,
Yes.
like you can get that sound whether I have a band or I don't have a band. When I'm playing live,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who's before me, who's after me. Hiyo show si tutafanya kazi yetu.
Hatar kabisa.
Yeah. And so, like, when I understood that my older tracks, I can't do that. Like, I couldn't do that.
Yes.
So I just wanted to elevate, and that's why this album has taken me so long. And that's why I would confidently say that this is the best body of work I've ever put out. Because it was just like, yesterday, if you heard them on the speakers, it was insane.
Yo, I saw the sound system. I was just like, oh Lord, I should have been there.
Yeah, it was insane. So, like, it's that thing of just wanting to push yourself, wanting to be better, because it's just Kaizen, man. Like,
100%.
if you're not continuously improving, then what's the point? Na pia saa zingine kujibase sana on what
It's
people
out there.
locally are doing, unaweza jichoma, because Kenya is too small of a market if we're talking about its position in the world.
Yes.
I was like, I just want to, like, if I go to Stato, if I go to Nigeria and I play them, now the Kenyan sound that I'm working on, but side by side with what they're making,
Yes.
is like, now we can talk. Because you can't say the quality is not there.
Yeah.
And also the confidence also has to
Equal.
be there. It's
We've
just
arrived.
Like, we've arrived. Because
We've arrived.
it's like, why mbona utembe kama kichwa yako iko chini and you have a good product?
Fam, I love what you're doing. Listen.
Thank you, man.
What are you playing me next?
Mtaona ni kipaa.
Mtaona ni kipaa. There's a very famous Kenyan politician who said that.
Who said that?
It was some guy from Nyanza. Mtaona tu. Was it that the former governor? Was he called Loco something? The very funny guy.
Yeah.
Mtakuwa mkiona tu ni kipaa.
What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was a politician who said that. Mtaona ni kipaa. So he was talking to, I think, the electorate or something. He's like, bro, you guys will just be seeing me fly. So that was the whole idea.
That. I'll get a snippet off of that.
Yeah. So how did you arrive at naming that?
No, this song is just like, where people always tell me here I'm underrated. And I'm always like, underrated compared to what metric are we using? Because the first viral video is me and my boys.
Yes,
100%. It's like, if it comes to traveling the world, I'm probably up there with any Kenyan artist who's ever done it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, on what metric? And it's like also just psyching yourself. Sometimes you have to have that easy attitude. So that's the vibe on this song.
That's the vibe on this song.
Also, I really like this beat. It's so good.
Yo,
Samuel Sichangi.
Sichangi produced this?
Yeah.
Hey, shout going out to Samuel Sichangi. It's been such a minute since I've heard him. Funny enough, I spend way more time with his younger brother.
What?
Yeah, like every week I have to see the younger bro.
Bruh.
Shout going out to the Sichangis, as it were. Let's go straight in. Mtaona ni kipaa.
When I go correct. So you better come correct. When I go correct. So you better come correct. Mtaona ni kipaa, mtaona ni kipaa, mtaona ni kipaa, mtaona ni kipaa. Naelewa mwashangaa, lakini bado nitapaa, mtaona ni kipaa.
There you go, man. Mtaona ni kipaa. So you better come correct. Right here on Fast with the Hits, Trace FM.
Yo.
That amazing sound.
Thank you, man.
Who's that lady on there?
Lisa Odwar Noah.
You know what's interesting, right? And I think I said this before. Lisa, I've never done an interview with her. I'm definitely going to do an interview
That's
with her.
a Freudian slip right there.
Yeah. Now, what is actually crazy about it is this, right? Imagine I mentioned this at a burial.
How would you do that?
I know. I mentioned this at a burial because she sang at my uncle's burial.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you know how family things are.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, boss, you work on the radio automatic when you tackle MC.
Yeah.
So I remember inviting her to an interview during the actual thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, by the way, I need to interview you. Thank you for singing.
Yeah.
So I really need to do that. But her vocals,
Your Lisa is insane.
amazing.
Yeah. And I've played with her for the longest time, man.
Always.
Before anyone was even on to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about you is how you get some of these guys who we don't even know, and you've done it consistently over time, right?
Yeah.
And it's such an amazing sound that you've been able to craft and create and sustain. Higher. What is the whole idea of that song?
Yeah, it's just like to, that boost in the morning.
Kahawa.
That kahawa to get you going. It's just like to achieve your dreams, and it's like when people tell you it's not possible or it can't be done. I'm just mtaona nikipanda na leo mwashangaa lakini bado nitapaa.
We are going song for song today on Fast with the Hits Trace FM. Now the next song on the album is called Dracula. This is a part where I sound like I have fangs.
This is like the song that really made the sound of this album.
Yeah.
And I share a studio with Deye.
Okay. Hey, shagana to Deye, man.
Yeah.
A long time.
You should have interviewed that guy. That guy is a legend.
Yeah, he really is.
And I walked in and he was working on the sketches of this beat. And then I asked him, as soon as I had it, I was like, you any beat your nani? Then he was like, I'm gonna play it from Beatty.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Just before we lose the audience, the sketch for the beats, what does that mean to someone who doesn't?
The sketch for the beat is like the foundational idea of what the track is gonna be. So it's like the raw idea. Ni kama ukitaka kugeta asali, like the bass, you have to squeeze it and refine it and all those things. So it's like just a raw skeleton of the beat. And as soon as I had it, it has this Mangelepa sample in it. I was like, then he said, it's from Beattygram.
Shagana to Beatty.
And I was like, oh man. And then when Beatty had it, he was just like, nah, that's not my sound. He was just like, I want an Afrobeat sound. I was like, what? Oh, okay. Well, lucky me. Okay, and then as soon as I had, so I also started like co-producing it in terms of like the sample wasn't sitting correctly, it needed to be tuned, and it's just like we did that, and then also like chop it in such a way that it gives a bit more variation. And so like this song is a tribute to like Mangelepa, who I really love, and also a lot of this project is a tribute to a lot of the bands that have gone before.
Yes,
because Africa is more than Afrobeats and Amapiano, and I really don't like the idea that people are trying to push that these are the only sounds that are coming from Africa, because it's not. I really like the innovation that's coming off of those places, but Africa is gonna sound more sana. And also there's some songs like, I feel like a song like Dracula, a Jay-Z would jump on it, but Jay-Z would never jump on a Amapiano beat, because it's just like it's so far removed from what he does. It's gonna look like selling out. So he might enjoy it, he might play it, or Kina Kanye, they might play it, but they're not gonna jump on those tracks, because it's just like it's not their sound. And Africa, like when I listen to Ethiopian music, or Sudanese music or Ghanaian old stuff, there's so much we can sample, and like it's the sound of hip-hop mixed with African music, mixed with now, like and the future. Yeah.
What do you even say after that?
See Chocha, bruh. See Chocha.
You know, at the beginning of this, at the beginning of that, it gave me a distant relatives kind of sound,
and which is why, like, I wanted the guy who mixed "Welcome to Jamrock" and won a Grammy for it to be like to work on this, because it's just like I knew my capabilities, I knew me and Dilly's capabilities, and we could not, like, we have the idea, but we can't achieve that sound here, like that thing that pushes it so hard that ukintoa lyric vocals zangu upe mtu yote mwingine, it makes sense.
So allow me to ask,
how is it to introduce myself?
My name is what is it that he does? Because you were in the studio, you know, with him mixing and mastering all of that. What is it that they do?
They know how to really push sound, because like most of us are, we make music on our laptops and we really wanna, like, but these guys have mixing boards that they've been using for years to like really craft this sound. And it's just like, I don't have those sounds, I don't have the gear that you'd need to achieve that kind of loudness without distorting, but it's just like unaisikia kwa kifua. And it's like, I'm so glad that our paths crossed and he did this project. And also the mastering was also done by someone who's worked on Beyonce, Jay-Z, all those guys. So he worked on Black Album. The guy who mastered this album worked on Black Album.
Damn, bro, I think I gotta buy the vinyl version of this.
No, Pia, also it's cool to say these things, because sometimes people think that like this is for other people, bruh. Me, all my life I've grown up here. This is my 6th project as an artist. There's a certain point where I'm just like, I can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Did you ever think there'd be a point in your career where the guys who are doing Welcome to Jamrock, Beyonce's sound, the Black Album, one of the greatest albums ever, and unakumbuka ukiwa pale KU? Uliwahi fikiria kitu kai?
Sikuwahi fikiria. And bro, I'm a dreamer, man. I've dreamed about things when I have 0 bob in my pocket. So wase wengine ufikiria, meaning I come from money, I don't. Like, I'm just like, I come from a family of people who dream about things. Like there's a photo when I was a kid and my mom was in Pakistan or something, and she was on a camel, and I need to frame that photo because and we were living in Isli, and that photo made me realize that there's a world that's bigger than my circumstance. So it's just like so hiyo ni kitu ilikuwa, even when like we were super poor or like lower middle class, let me say, but let's say we were not rich, like, kuna place inaitwa Pakistan na masangu ameenda, and then she come back with photos. I'm like, yo, even me one day I want to do something like that. So nowadays she tells me, man, you've seen the world even much more. She was the most traveled person in my family. Yeah. Now I'm like, for sure, the most traveled person in my extended family.
You know what I love about that? You know how that age-old saying that says, you know, your parents do so much so that they can accord you a better life than they did. Yeah. So that particular point, your mom, kila pali. Yeah. When do you sasa?
Ndio sasa yoni wana nikipa.
I love it. Man, you know, you're one of those guys who I love to interview, right? Yeah. Like, you articulate it in a very real and genuine way. Yeah. It's one of those interviews that I'm going to enjoy watching back. Yeah. Because, you know, the gems, like, bro, manze umesema kitu hapa. There's a world that's bigger than my circumstance.
Bars, man, bars.
Hey!
But it's true. It's just like, and that's for anyone who's listening right now, who feels like these things are for someone else. I'm just like, just adopt the vision that it's possible for you too, because like you can really take what's happening to you and be like, I'll never be that guy, I'll never get to this place, or I'll never do this. But it's just like, me ndio nakwambia, even yesterday when I brought the guys from the village, I was like, I want people to see, like even the people who come to my show, to see that we think about things differently from other people, but also we have such a rich heritage in Kenya and culture that tunasahau. Saa zingine like we want to push like, oh, I'm a piano DJ or I'm an Afrobeats DJ. Bruh, let's go dig our culture, man. Like, so that when we are going to these guys, the Nigerians, wherever you also come with something that they don't have. So it's like it's a good conversation. You have something I don't have, I have something you don't have. So tukiongea, we can be like, exchange gems. But if you make something and then I'm coming back to mimic it, and then like
it's not the way. You know, it's interesting. I love that you're mentioning that. Earlier on, I played Shakara, Fella, and I was talking about Fella's shrine and everything, and Water No Get No Enemy. I played both of those tracks, right?
Oh man,
you get I played them and I said, I know Blinky would appreciate this music.
Bruh, I love that sound, man.
So you see how, like I was explaining before, D'banj, before Bana, all of these guys, they've got all of that richness in their music. And I love the fact that you've never shied away from that. You know, when you're saying you went and got these dancers from Homer Bay, they had the feathers on their head. You know?
Exactly.
Paying homage to where you're from. Now, there's a whole generation who actually didn't know that sound existed. And now, through We Caught Kids too,
they will know.
They will know.
And even just being there, it's just like, also it's feeding your soul, man, because we live in a world where we are so envious of other people that sometimes you forget what you have. And so it's like, when you see that, and when you see, like nowadays when I go to Shags, I'm just like, this is where my great grandfather used to be. This is where my lineage is from. I feel so sina pressure in Nairobi, sina izo like the everyday hustle and bustle. I can hewa ni poa, like crickets nasikia at 6.
You can see the stars very clearly.
You can see the stars very clearly.
No pollution.
I love that thing, and I know the more you see or the more you travel around the world, the more you crave really simple things. Even rich people, like I feel like that's what they do, is like, ukauneza buy kitu yoyote. See, then when you actually get something that's a genuine thing or a simple thing that doesn't cost you much, it's like, it's really special. Because you can get anything you want.
You've gotten to that point, everything, and you know, and at that point, guys are also just giving you stuff. You get. You know that you've mentioned that. As we get into the next song, I want you to think about this, right? So we've if you're just locking in, we're going through We Caught Keys 2. So we've played the intro. You mentioned your grandparents. How far back do you know your lineage? Radio presenters are really going to thank you. Because you know what I love about the mastering and mixing of this album, it's going to be so easy to go into the song as you front sell and as you back sell. You won't be able to clash with vocals. Like imepangwa. You know,
muziki imesoma, imeenda shule.
Muziki imeenda shule bana.
Sema shule bana.
Imeingia huko ikaambia.
Ni streamini bana, hata mimi nikuwe one of the top streamed artists in Kenya bana.
Bro, listen. Hii tunaisukuma the whole way.
Thank you, man.
Whole way.
Thank you, man.
You know, when the album got on Spotify this morning, right? I was checking it out. And I noticed something. So your album has 16 tracks. But not only that, your songs are longer than the average that is being pushed out right now. Why is that?
Because I really love music, man, and I don't want to there's songs that actually nimefupisha, because there's songs when I listen to like Fella's albums or Franco or all those guys, they're long songs in a build in a
So, you know, I when I was playing Water No Get No Enemy, I said this. Fella starts singing at minute 5. The song is 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
Bana, because it was made for live.
Yeah.
It's made when, and they were not really, yeah.
The horns.
Yeah. So it's just like, yo, right now people are listening to like 2-hour podcast, 3-hour podcast. And then we are also being told to make 2-minute songs. So I'm just like, there's something in this thing that doesn't make sense to me. But Pia, it is what it is. Me, I just want to talk to people. And like, there's music for so many different kinds of times. Like ukiamuka, ukimeditate, ukidance, kioga, wale watu wenda na Bluetooth speaker kwa bathroom.
Uko kwa bafu na song yenye ni slide.
Yeah, bana, upendi hiyo song, unatoka kwa bathroom kama umezima hiyo kitu.
Oh man.
So that's the thing, is just like that song, I want it to be like, and my engineer was gonna cut it. I was like, no, the guy who I'm on that song with is called Emok, and he's a Kenyan American Ghanaian guy.
That's a cocktail.
Based in New York. And he had the bridge. I'm like, they're gonna cut it out. I was like, please, kwa heshima ya msanii nimefanya kazi na yeye, don't cut his nini out, because naheshimu ile kitu amefanya. And if you wanted that bridge to be that beautiful, I want the listeners to hear. So it's just like, kama ita work for club or radio ni sawa, but like the person at the end of the day that I'm talking to is the listener. I want them to also, you know, when the Neptunes used to have songs and then they have a bridge that is just counter them. I miss those things, man.
You know, on the podcast the other day, I came to a very sad realization. Well, I mentioned it on the podcast, right? But I came to a very sad realization that I want to do something about intentionally.
Yeah.
It hit me that never in my life has there been more music than I will ever listen to.
Yeah.
Like, unajua Shazam, I'm in an airport, I'm where? Supermarket. Like I'm greedy to hear these sounds because I'm a music lover. But I'm just like, manze ngoma ni mob.
Ni mob sana.
Unelewa?
Yeah.
But I also love the fact that we've now got this whole ecosystem that enables me to discover music, right? Unakumbuka back in the day, you know, when you talk to like DJs who had to line up to buy that
records.
One LP. Unaget? And pop, maybe they're buying it because they want to play one song that's been pushed on the radio. And there's 16 other tracks. And I love that you're speaking to that.
Nah, it's just like, for me, there's songs that even when they're not radio singles and you listen to the project, I want you to lazima to feed, and it has to be intentional, because sahi ile kitu inanisumbua is that a lot of the sijui ni nini, but a lot of the music sounds the same to me. But when I remember like what I'm saying, the Neptunes, Kanye, 50 Cent, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, everyone had such a distinct sound that it separated everyone from everyone. So kama Outcast wana do hii, Goody Mob wana do vitu zao, UGK wana do vitu zao, like a Tribe Called Quest wanafanya vitu zao. Right now I can't really tell you who is who. Siko baya. It's like sonically.
But also, I think I was having this conversation with G sometime, right? And he was telling me, you know, record labels, and you are an independent artist, but you're in talks with a lot of music people. It gets to a point where the record label tells you, listen, we're in this for business, right?
Yeah.
And tumesha kulipa advance studio nini si tunataka, it's business, right? But I feel like some of that creativity is killed by the record label, right? They tell you piano saizi ndio imeshika. Lazima utoe ngoma ya piano. And you really have no say. So you see, some of these artists really want to create, but mdosi amesema indio sound iko saizi.
It's unfortunate, man. And I think that's why I might never really be signed in that way, because I'm not the kind of person that you're going to tell what to make. I'm going to create. I've created things that I know are not going to be hits. Not because minimum lazimo, but also as an artist, there's some things that just need to fuel that thing of creativity. So na refine a idea, and that's how I've come up with this project, because there's so many ideas that I've put out that I could see I could stick hivi, or so hii kitu naweza refine hapa, but the core idea ni ile, like I really want this thing to land. So that's literally the basis of this project, is that there's a lot of music that I've made, na pia narudi back to the lab nasema okay, naweza tweak kitu, but start deviate sana from that thing that I want to land.
Now we're at 47 minutes past 9. We got maybe about 13 more minutes.
Tucheze tu kama bila kuongea.